Maritime Made on Eastlink TV, presented by Nova Scotia Business Inc., because great things are happening.
Maple wild blueberry, apple cranberry, coffee cream, black currant. Next time you're in Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia, just strolling down Main Street, you may want to stop in at Appleton Chocolates and watch the chocolatier at work. While you're there, you may also want to pick up a few locally flavored truffles as well. Maple and wild blueberry truffles have been their signature truffle since the family business began in 1997. Maple fondant is poured out onto the work surface. The fondant was made earlier using locally produced maple syrup. It's kneaded first to make sure it's nice and smooth and has a consistent texture before adding the blueberries. Dried local wild blueberries are then weighed and added to the fondant. The blueberries are kneaded into the maple fondant until they're evenly distributed throughout the mixture.
Icing sugar is sprinkled on the work surface to keep the fondant from sticking. For this purpose, it works the same way as flour. A piece of fondant is rolled into a long, consistent shape. Wax paper is laid on a tray where the rolled fondant centers are placed. Each center is weighed to ensure each one is between 10 and 12 grams. Each center is hand-rolled, thousands and thousands each year. At this stage, the fondant is dense and sticky with a glossy sheen. These maple wild blueberry centers are a secret family recipe developed in 1997 and are still the only truffle of this kind produced in the world.
The maple blueberry truffles will be double dipped in chocolate, but first, the chocolate needs to be tempered. It's first gently warmed to 115 degrees Fahrenheit in a chocolate melter. When heated to 115 degrees, the crystals in the chocolate break down. Using a unique dipping technique, the chocolatier hand dips each maple blueberry fondant center. Working carefully with each one, they're gently set on a tray to cool for 24 hours. This is the first dip, which adds a layer of about 4 grams of chocolate around the center. This chocolate tempering machine can hold 50 pounds of chocolate at one time. The chocolatier can't lose a fondant center into the chocolate, or it would ruin the whole batch. Once cooled, it's time for the second dipping. Chocolate shrinks when it cools, so it puts pressure on the centers and some of the fondant can squeeze out. The second dipping seals the fondant center completely and adds another 6 grams of chocolate coating. These truffles are 50% chocolate and 50% filling.
After the second dip, the truffles are cooled overnight and are ready to be packaged. Each one is hand-wrapped in colorful foil and padded flat on the bottom. Appleton Chocolates makes 13 different flavors of truffles using local ingredients wherever possible. The blueberries, maple, cranberry, blackcurrant, and cherry are all locally sourced. The next confectionery product is coffee bark, and it uses Meeting Waters coffee roasted right next door. Parchment paper lines a tray where milk chocolate is poured and spread out evenly. At this stage, the chocolate is thick but workable. Meeting Waters ground espresso beans are sprinkled over the chocolate. This coffee is fine grind to help the coffee flavor infuse the chocolate. The fine espresso coffee grounds are worked in. Next, a more coarse grind of espresso beans are sprinkled on top. This grind helps provide more texture and flavor.
Cooled slightly, the chocolate is scored, then wrapped tightly and left to cool for at least 2 hours. The tray of coffee bark is ready for packaging and reaches its full flavor within 2 days. It's first weighed in 100-gram bundles, then placed in a cellophane bag that is heat-sealed, then heat-cut. A signature sticker is placed on the package. Finally, a product label is added. Although ginger isn't a local flavor, it sure is a local favorite. The most popular chocolate bar at Appleton Chocolates is the dark chocolate candied ginger bar. To begin, candied ginger is diced evenly. It's diced the day before to allow it to dry a bit and reduce its stickiness. The chocolatier warms the chocolate slightly while checking for smoothness. Tempered dark chocolate is poured into a warmed form, then spread evenly. Candied ginger is sprinkled on top, ensuring a piece of delicious ginger in each bite. The ginger is worked into the body of the chocolate, and the molds are set aside to cool.
After a few hours, the chocolatier gently twists the form to remove the chocolate bars. The ginger is perfectly set inside. Each chocolate bar at Appleton Chocolates is individually hand-wrapped. These maple sugar Belgian milk chocolate bars are wrapped in foil and sealed with a sticker. Then, little dabs of glue are rolled onto the label and it's wrapped around the bar. Ready for display or shipping. Solid chocolate novelties are a fun treat too. These milk chocolate dragons are made in a mold like the bars, cooled and ready for enjoying.